In the world we live in today, the richest 1% of the population controls 49% of the total wealth, and the top 80 richest individuals are worth as much as half the world's population, or roughly 3.5 billion people. When considering these figures, there is no doubting the fact that there is a separation between the rich and the poor. While many people assume these wealthy individuals gain their wealth by being born into wealth or winning the lottery, that simply isn't true. In fact, only 10 out of the 70 richest individuals were passed down their fortunes with the other. One of these 70 individuals is none other than the investor guru himself, Warren Buffett. Like the majority of these rich individuals, Warren Buffett grew up in a middle-class family but found a way to amass the knowledge and skills that would eventually lead him to accumulating a wealth of over $80 billion. Undoubtedly, we have all seen people living in excess and others living with next to nothing, but have you ever taken a second to think about what truly separates the rich from the poor? Sure, the obvious answer is that the rich have significantly more money than the poor, but I'm talking about the reasons beyond the dollars and cents. When you think about it, a rich and a poor person can live in the same city, have access to the same jobs, and both only have hours in the day, yet one can be living paycheck to paycheck while the other can have more money than they could spend in an entire lifetime. So what truly makes the difference between someone who will amass billions of dollars in their lifetime and someone who will struggle financially forever? Well, using our rich friend Janet and our poor friend Brandon as example, I will outline exactly what separates the two so you can adopt these rich person habits and realize financial prosperity in your own life. Before we get going, don't forget to hit that subscribers button below and leave a like if you find this video of help. Do that so that we grow together. Now, from our example, you should know that both Janet and Brandon have similar come from middle-class families and live in the same city. In short, neither man has any advantage over the other, however their bank accounts are at total opposite ends of the money extremes. It's this afternoon and both Janet and Brandon are from work. When Brandon gets home, he listens to his best music album to refresh himself from the long day at work. While Brandon's employer recommended that he should probably read more book in order to increase his chances of getting promoted, Brandon is not interested in reading, especially now that a new album of his favorite artist is out. When Janet arrives home, she does something constructive on her computer. Hours pass as Janet reviews her stuffs getting prepared for the forthcoming exams. While Janet already has a master's degree and multiple designations, she continues to put in a few hours every night to work towards another accreditation which will help her scale the corporate ladder faster. Janet figures that if millionaires are investing that much time and money into learning new things, then he should definitely do the same. Therefore, the visible difference number between the rich and the poor is that the rich continuously learn. At work the next day, Brandon's boss begins handing out bonuses to all of the employees. As Brandon opens up his envelope, he sees that he's gotten much less than all of his peers. He goes up to his boss and complains, saying that he's been at the company for 10 years and this is an embarrassing bonus to have received. His boss goes on to point out that he never stays late to help his team and that his productivity has dropped every year since he started. Across town, Janet is plowing through his current project at work when his boss approaches him. Her boss hands her an envelope, and as he opens it, she sees a heavy check in her name. Janet is stunned and very appreciative of the generous bonus. Janet's boss goes on to explain that Janet has been putting in a ton of hours as of late, and her last project saved the company a couple of $1 million in operating expenses, so to recognize his work this was the least they could do. Therefore, the other visible difference is that the rich sell value compared to the poor who sell time. The following week, Brandon is counting down the days until Thursday, which is when he gets paid. As soon as his boss gives him his monthly check, he rushes to the bank and begins sending out payments to all of his creditors. He sends money to his landlord and of course his monthly installment for income tax. When Brandon opens his balance, he realizes that not only did he not save any money, but that his account was lower than it was a month prior. Brandon has no idea where all the money could have gone. When Janet gets paid, $365 is deducted and funneled into a saving account that she don't have access to. After making sure his savings have been funded for the month, John then makes his mortgage payment, pays his utilities company and makes his monthly installment of income taxes to the government. As the month ends, Janet smiles as she notices that once again, her bank balance has grown, making her even richer than she already is. What we learn is that, the rich pay themselves first while the poor pay themselves last. Brandon sulks, wishing that his boss didn't suck and had given him a bigger bonus so that he could afford what he desired to have. What we learn is that the rich have a growth mindset while the poor have a fixed mindset. Janet, on the other hand, walks right by Java every day and she drinks the free coffee that's served at work. Sure, the coffee isn't as good as a Java drink, but being able to save a few dollars a day on coffee is well worth it in his eyes. Janet has been saving up that $10 a day for a year. Janet also knows that this delaying of gratification helps her embody the traits of her fellow rich peers, as he learned. Occupation, education, location and gender topped the list, but delaying instant gratification beat out many of the more traditional signals, including age, race, ethnicity and height. Researchers believe that a person's ability to envision larger future rewards makes them much less likely to succumb to short-term pleasures, which is why turning down a daily coffee drinking routine was easy when envisioning all the fun he would have on the beach in Mexico with his friends. Therefore, difference number 5 is that the rich understand the power of delaying gratification, whereas the poor seek short-term pleasure. As the economy starts to fall on hard times, many companies begin to lay people off as a cost-cutting tactic. As Brandon is sitting at his desk one afternoon scrolling through Facebook and doing the bare minimum to keep his job, he gets a note that he should hang his boots and hand in his job paraphernalia and leave. Brandon freaks out, wondering how he will pay his rent and bills now that his sole source of income is gone. He always believed that being an employee meant having job security, and after getting fired he began to wonder if this impression was wrong to have held for so many years. Unfortunately for Janet, also hangs her boots too. In an exit interview, Janet's boss talks for an hour about how great of a worker she had been and how he had let go of all other employees before finally letting her leave. Janet knew that no job is secure, which is why as soon as he entered the workforce she began building an online business and contributed to a dividend stock portfolio, which are now established enough to keep her afloat until he finds another job. Therefore, what we learn is that the rich build several streams of income while the poor rely on only one. About a week after getting let go, Brandon is at home moping with his other loser friends about how much the economy sucks and how it will be nearly impossible to find another job. They go on about how unfair life has been to them and how they would be rich if they had gotten the same lucky breaks as others. The evening after getting let go, Janet invites her close friends over to her house for late supper. As the group are eating, Janet explains that due to the hard economic times, she has been let go by her company, but reassures her friends that her other sources of income will support her current lifestyle. One friend excitedly says that this is the perfect time for Janet to join his construction company and offers him an executive position. Another friend asks Janet if she wants to start a consulting company with him, as the two have worked so well together in the past and could become one of the leading firms in the city in no time. Therefore, what we learn is that the rich surround themselves with other rich people, whereas the poor surround themselves with other broke individuals. In summary, the differences that separate the rich from the poor is that the rich never stop learning, they sell value not time, they pay themselves first, they have a growth mindset not a fixed mindset, they harness the power of delaying gratification, they build multiple streams of income, and finally they surround themselves with other rich individuals. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, and I will see you in the next one. Let's stay in the brighter side of Realm Educate.